Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. The good news is, the series will be completed by the end of the weekend. As I have watched everything, I just need to do the recording of the rest of the series. And we are on the second week in April in 1988. So we're not too far away. We're about 5 months away from the end of the program as is available on the WWE Network. And I mean, as we move into April, there's some drop off here. Vince Apollo and the Missing Link opened the program here. Not exactly your best situation. Link has been around for a while. It's clear that he is serious about staying around, but it's also clear that he has seen better days. Apollo is probably one of the more basic wrestlers. We see Link stomping around on the outside. Then we see him going at Apollo. Apollo moves out of the way rather quickly. Kind of makes a fool out of the Link a little bit. Apollo tries a roll through sunset flip and doesn't get everything he wants on it. Does get enough, but not everything he wants out of the situation. Then we see a roll through there, and eye rake by Apollo. Link eventually does end up winning the match after Apollo sends him into the buckles and all of that. And a headbutt by the Link gets the victory in about 4 minutes or so. Then a match that I didn't like at all, Texas Roundup match. The Reaper is in here. The Thing is in here. They start off. I guess there's pinfalls and throwing over the top rope and all of that. Just a lot of chaos. We see some Von Erichs in here. I'm going to be very brief with my coverage of this match, honestly, because it's organized chaos. It isn't very good. An attempt to eliminate both members of the crazy team, and I mean that doesn't go terribly well. Inside out, and the match is clipped to all heck. John Tatum comes in. Jack Victory and John Tatum try to double team some people in the later part of the match, and obviously Tatum and Victory, tag team champions, who for the most part are Wild West champions on and off for the next several months before they unify the belts. Steve Casey in there. Just a complete cluster mess of a match, honestly. Double Irish whip, attempted double backdrops, doesn't lead anywhere, and the tag team champions go bailing to the outside at the hands of Kerry Von Erich. Kerry eventually wins this contest. Then we move to the Simpsons being angry. The Simpsons are angry because they have been their title belts have been stolen by Victory and Tatum. Obviously, that's a feud that's going on for quite a while. That's something that's going on for a bit. They will eventually unify the tag team championships with the Wild West tag team championships and Outlaw promotion. That comes in a couple of months. Black Bart and Jim Richardson. Richardson, an enhancement talent. Bart, of course, it's just odd to me, but a former world champion here in nothing more than an enhancement match. Bart tries to muscle a man over, hits a snapmare, pulls his adversary up to the feet, and hits a leg drop for a victory. Super, super easy squash match. Iceman and King Parsons. They do a really cool thing where the belt's actually shining. Parsons has defeated Kerry Von Erich for the World Championship. A match that I never saw coming in that regard. It just strikes me as odd. He basically brags about it being that way sometimes. And, the lights going out and all of that. Then we move on to Kerry Von Erich talking about being former friends with Iceman Parsons, wanting the championship back, wanting to represent his family a year and a half on the shelf, leading to him coming back and wanting to be the best in world class, the best in the world. Super basic promo. Kerry eventually does live up to those standards, but then we see John Keaton defending his position. What he visually saw is all that he could call, and that is his main argument in this whole thing. Then we see Real Thing and Terry Taylor versus Chris Adams and Bill Irwin. Adams and Irwin just strikes me as an odd team. Taylor, obviously, the Texas champion, which, again, is kind of odd, especially since by a few months down the road, he's in the World Wrestling Federation. Here in '88, obviously, he starts in the summer in Survivor Series. By the fall of same year, they're pushing the Real Thing pretty hard. Thing doesn't have an abundance of physical skill, but he does have an interesting gimmick. Irwin, of course, a former Texas champion for quite a while during the early stages of World Class. Adams, a former world champion, and hopefully the idea is to give each other the rub as kind of a thing. But I mean, you can see that the promotion is on its last legs in a lot of ways. Brawling with the Thing and Chris Adams. Odd to see Adams in the brawling position. Bill Irwin back in. Thing cuts him off with a kick to the midsection and several other brawling shots. Terry Taylor hits a pump kick on Bill Irwin. And that's kind of impressive. Terry Taylor, I'm sorry, a lot of people give him a bad rap, but the reality is him before the WWF is a completely different wrestler than him after the WWF, and I think people are biased in that way. His Mid-South stuff and even to a degree his WCW stuff after his Red Rooster run is decent, and I think people are biased because they don't like the gimmick. But anyway, the Thing and Bill Irwin square off with each other. Adams comes in with a super kick, and 1, 2, and 3 gets the victory. And then there's a brawl around for a little bit, and we close this particular edition of World Class here this week. And until next time, we'll be back with more action right after this.